Hey all, Miss Paraso here, and to walk you through how to set up system of equations with some word problems. Now, I tried to give you some step-by-step guidance and things of that nature. So those are the notes there. There's a couple of things that we might want to add on here. So, like, how do you know what kind of equation to set up? So remember back in, oh gosh, I think it was like Unit 3. We want to think about when should we maybe put it in standard form. So standard form was when we have like two different rates, but like kind of in that same situation. And then you might, or when do we want it in y equals mx plus b form? This is the one that will really stand out. If you have been given one rate of change and maybe a starting point, that's our b. That's kind of, that'll let you know that that's the format you're going to take. So this format tends to be like, we've got little Bobby and we got little Susie and we want to know when they'll be the same. So they tend to take that format. Standard form is more about like we are selling two different types of things and then they cost different amounts of money. So it's still kind of within that setup. So let's take a look at what that might seem like. How do we come across that? Okay. All right, so here we have, I'm going to let you go ahead and pause and read this to yourself if you haven't already looked at it. I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. So we have Green Lawn charges a startup fee, $29 per month. Grass Team, so here you have Green Lawn and we have Grass Team. All right, and so we have those two situations. And now this is what I'm talking about. We see that we've got a startup fee and a rate. So that means that we want to use the slope-intercept form. All right, so assign each unknown a variable. What don't we know? We don't know the month, so I'm going to say, we could do y. Okay, I usually like the dot. I'm going to use m for months, and I'm going to use d for dollars. So d is total money, total dollars. M is going to be the number of months. You could use X for months and Y for the total money, but when I'm working with word problems, I really like to use the variables that represent it so I know what I just solved for. All right, so I'm going to have two equations. I've got my Green Lawn. So here's green. So their total amount of money that they earn is going to be $49 plus $29 per month. Okay. And then for the Grass Team, their total is going to be $25 and $37 per month, right? All right, so there's the setup. In how many months will both lawn care services cost the same? What will the cost be? All right, again, we're looking at both. We're looking at same. That's telling me that it's a system, and I'm going to go ahead and use what I know to solve that. And then what will the cost be? So I've got to answer how many months and what is the cost. So basically, what's my variable M? What's my variable D? All right, what's going to be the cost? What's going to be the months? All right, so why don't you go ahead and pause the video and go ahead and solve, and let's see if we agree. All right, so I went ahead and set them equal because we want to know when they'll both be the same. So I went ahead and set the two equations equal to each other, and there I solved for M. So there's my M value. Then I took that value. Now, I was just being cautious. I wanted to make sure. So I plugged in my 3 here, and I just wanted to, I did it for both Green Team and the Grass Team, just because I wanted to make sure that I would get the same total. All right, so there's my answer. So I need to go back. In how many months will both lawn care services cost the same? Well, that's my M value. So for part A, after 3 months, right, they'll be the same. And then how much will it cost? So after 3 months, they will both cost $136. All right. Now then there's a follow-up. If the family uses service for only 6 months, what is the better option? Well, if after 3 months they cost the same, then all we really need, now you could plug it in, you could plug in 6 months and see then who's higher. But after 3 months, that's where they're the same. Then after that, it's really just going to be, you're going to be taking a look at their monthly charge. So after they're the costing the same, the $29 per month, that one's going to be your cheaper one. So we would expect that one to be the better value. But you could just plug it in and we can say, okay, well, for the grass team, or sorry, green team, 49 plus 29 and 6. And then grass team, 25 plus 37 times 6. So we could compare it that way. 49, I had to do that math real quick. That's 54, it's 12, that's 174. 13, 11. I feel I might, might want to teacher challenge me on these ones. I don't have my calculator and I'm doing it very quickly in my head. All right, 25, 42, 18 plus 4 is 22. That is 247. Yep. So we can see here that the green team, which we had the lower monthly rate. So after they're the same, the green team ends up being the better deal. So long term, green team is better. Short term, grass team is better. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Now this one here, let's take a look and read. We have Brianna's family spent $134 on 2 adult tickets and 3 youth tickets. Max's family spent $100 on those sets of tickets. Now, this is where we go back up to how do we know what form? I don't have a starting rate. I don't have one rate. I actually have 2 rates, kind of. Well, not 2 rates, but I have 2 different things here. I got 2 adult tickets, 3 youth. So that means that I'm really looking for a standard form. So I've got the adult tickets, and it says, what is the price of a youth? So I don't know what the cost of my adult ticket is. So the cost for an adult ticket, I'm going to have is BA. And then the cost for a youth ticket, I'll make that my Y. I scan it. You can use X and Y. All right, so now I want to rate, I've got my 2 situations. I've got Brianna and I've got Max. So here is Brianna's equation. Let me spell her name right. Okay, and I'm going to write Max's equation too. Now, if you want to pause the video and see if you can get it without my feedback just yet. All right, otherwise, here we have Brianna. She gets 2 adult tickets. Well, and she's spending that total. So 2 times whatever an adult ticket costs plus 3 times whatever a youth ticket costs is going to give her a total of $134. Then we have Max's family. He bought 1 adult ticket and 3 youth tickets and spent $100. All right, so there's my setup for that one. Okay, now you've got a system. You got 2 equations. Go ahead and pause and solve, and let's check back in. All right, I don't know about you, but I chose to use the elimination method for this one. So I multiplied the second equation, or Max's equation, by -1, and then I went ahead and added, and I solved for A. Now, because I have my key, I know that that's my adult ticket. I got to go back and take a look. It says, what is the price of a youth ticket? Right? So that didn't answer my question. I've got to go back and find the price of a youth ticket. So I did that by using Max's because it was the easiest one to do, in my opinion. So I went back and found it, and I got y equals 22 because that was what I used for my variable. So then put that into a complete sentence. All right, youth tickets cost $22 each. All right, so that's kind of that setup. You've got a time where you might need slope-intercept form. We've got standard form, and that's how you want to approach these problems here. Okay, so what I'd like you to do, you're going to go ahead and take a look. I'm going to put these up here. So if for some reason you don't have your sheet, you can pause the video, look and read and solve, but do know that this is on OneNote for you with the answer key. Okay. There's number 4. And then there's number 5. Okay. So pause those and try them out and then check back in. But just kind of taking a look and thinking it through. Again, assign them all variables, really kind of working that out. Actually, you know, I'm going to do number 3 with you because I think it's a good one to do. So, all right, we have 2 small pitchers and a large pitcher. So I've got a small. So again, if I'm working this out, small pitcher, and I've got a large pitcher. Okay, and then we want to represent them. So I am going to say that my small pitcher is X and my large pitcher is Y. I just don't like using S and L because it looks like 5s and 1s and that gets confusing. All right, so 2 small pitchers and 1 large pitcher can hold 8 cups of water. Okay, so 2 small pitchers and 1 large pitcher can hold 8 cups of water. 1 large pitcher, so 1 large pitcher minus 1 small pitcher equals 2. All right, boom. So again, reading those clues, now I've got a system. I can use substitution, I can use elimination, but make sure that you, it got kind of faded, how many cups of water can each pitcher hold? So I need the answer for both X and Y. So X is actually small pitcher, number of cups it can hold. All right, so to be more specific. Okay, all right, then check in. Let's take a look at number 4. A test has 20 questions. We're comparing number of questions and number of points. Okay, we have, the test consists of true, false questions and multiple choice. So we have true, false, and we have multiple choice. So let's see. We'll just stick with X and Y. Okay. So that's the X. That's the number of true, false questions, the number of multiple. So the number of true, false questions plus the number of multiple choice, that was a total of 20 questions. All right, I got a total of 100 points, and it's 3 points for each, let's see, true, false. So true, false is X, so 3 points times the true, false. And wow, 11 points for a multiple choice. All right, that's fine. Okay, but there's your system. Okay, so it wants you to find the solution and then explain what does it mean. Like, what did you get? So like if you got 3, 5, well, that means that there's 3 true, false questions and 5 multiple choice questions. That's not right because that doesn't add up to 20, but you got it. Okay. All right, and then for the last one, money problems are like the #1 type of testing style question with systems. It's just one of those higher level thinking. Again, we're talking about total amount of coins and total amount of money. And so we have quarters and we have dimes. So we're going to use, so number of quarters, the amount of quarters is going to be, I'm going to represent with a Q. And the number of dimes this person has in their pocket or wherever she's keeping them is going to be represented by D. So the number of quarters she has plus the number of dimes she has, that's a total of 30 coins. All right, now you're like, well, where do I get the rest of the information? Well, that's where you've got to use your knowledge about quarters and dimes. A quarter is worth 25 cents. So 25 cents times a quarter and 10 cents times the dime. All right. Now, if you don't like working with decimals and you just want to get rid of them, remember you have math god powers. Just simply multiply all of this by 100 and boom, now we have 25Q plus 10D equals 570. That moves the decimal over 2 places. Okay? And now we don't have to worry about that. All right, so that should help you out with the setup and solving and things to think about with word problems. Oh, and that's my cue to leave. Toodles.